So what we're going to focus on here is the spirit of his mouth. We are leaving 2024 and entering the Hebrew year 5785 on October the 2nd and the Gregorian year 2025 on January 1st. It is important to remember that this entire decade has been and still is one of redemption. However, the closer we get to 5790 or 2030, hear me by the Spirit, the closer you get to 5790 or 2030, you will see and experience more upheaval, disruption, and major change. Why? Why is that? The last 5 years of this decade is a transition tunnel or a birth canal, if you will. That is, it is moving us, it is pushing us out of this dimension of space and time into a new era. We're stepping into a new age. And so when we hit 5790 and 2030, we will be stepping into a new age. And when you step into a new age, everything changes as you know it. Life changes as you know it. Therefore, this year is critical, because it's the matrix. As you are entering this birth canal, entering this transition, this year is critical. 5785 and 2025 is the year that I'm speaking of being critical, because it is the year of HEI, HEI in the Hebrew. HEI is the 5th Hebrew alphabet, and it has both practical and spiritual significance. When you look at a year, the last number of the year is the construct. It gives you the construct of the year, what God is going to do. The next number would be the decade, and we know we're in the decade of repentance and we're redemption, but we're also in the decade of pay, the mouth. Okay, the mouth. So you understand what God is doing in the entire decade, the 10-year period. But each year will give you what? The construct. So HEI is the construct of the year we're stepping into. The original pictograph for the letter HEI is a man standing with his arms raised up. In the ancient pictograph, and a pictograph is what they were using before they used letters. It is also what they used before hieroglyphics. So pictographs came first. And the ancient pictograph, and also in modern Hebrew, it is a man standing with his arms raised up. And HEI means behold, as when looking at a great sight and pointing it out. You know how you say, hey! Look at that. Thank you. Shout, hey. Okay, watch this. God is doing something. The Ancient Hebrew Research Center says that the meaning of the letter HEI is behold, look, breathe, sigh, reveal, revelation, from the idea of revealing a great sight by pointing it out. And as I said before, it has to do with breath. Further studies state that HEI is connected to thought, breath, action, wind, word, and spirit. Hopefully you are able to see the connection and connotation here. As you can see, breath and wind are repeatedly mentioned. Breath and wind are repeatedly mentioned. This is important. The matrix of the eternal is contracting, and the birth canal of this present dimension is ushering you out into the new era that is coming. So what you do in this new year of 5785 and 2025 is crucial. I will say it again. What you do in this new year, 5785, that's the Hebrew year that you're stepping in on October the 2nd at sundown, Rosh Hashanah. And the Gregorian calendar, 2025, January the 1st. It's crucial what you do this year coming, because you're in a birth canal. You're transitioning out. So listen carefully. During the birth process, the most critical time for an infant is immediately after delivery. Within the first few minutes, when they need, when they need to establish their breathing. Hey! You need to establish your breathing. Hey! Because you have been birthed. You stepped out. You're in transition. You just transitioned out of an old environment that you were used to into a new environment that is completely new, that you are unaccustomed to. It is strange to you. And it seems bigger than life. So the first few moments are crucial to establish your breathing and your transition. Y'all not hearing me. Your first few moments in the new. Establish your breathing and your ability to transition. Everybody does not transition well. Transition is equated to change, and even though change is inevitable, at least 67% of the population will fight it tooth and nail because they don't like it. I need to be in control. I can talk about it now. Because I don't mind changing, but I need to know what's going on. Who said we got to change? Why we have to change? Well, when is this going to happen? Okay, if that's the case, I need to change in my place. And I need all the money. I need all the help. I need all the details. I need it all, darling. And then I need to be able to do it at my own pace that I'm comfortable with. But how many know most times, the majority of time, change doesn't happen like that? Shorting Anya and digging your heels in is only going to complicate matters and cause you harm. Because when God needs you to go, when he needs you to change, you got to, somebody say, shift. Old folks say it like this. You may be young. You may be old. You may be rich. You may be poor. But when the Lord gets rich, oh, you got to move. You don't want to move. You don't want to do it. You feel like you don't, but you got to move. And what God will do is light a fire under you if you don't. Everybody that was working with you will start working against you. Everybody that was for you will start fighting and opposing you. He will make it extremely uncomfortable for you. And you have no other option but to move. Somebody shout, hey!